Okay, this is specifically for my friend Garrett. I'm George Gonzalez. I'm obsessed with making games, and we're doing a Steam in-app purchases because for some reason no one wants to do a video on Steam in-app purchases. No one wants to make money off Steam. Weird. Um, Free-to-play in-app purchases is the best way to make an income. People prefer to do other stuff like ads or other things that honestly are dumb. So if you want to make money, do it free game, make it good, and do in-app purchases. Stop doing something else. So I'm serious. Like it's like the difference between like, do you want a blank check or do you want me to give you $100? And you choose the $100. Okay. So today we're gonna go about how to make infinite amount of money on Steam with in-app purchases and Playfab. Playfab makes it even easier, like maybe a 10-minute setup. Okay. So let's do this. Yeah, I'm assuming you downloaded Steam. I'll make other videos later for how to set up Steam, your business, tax, whatever, and Playfab. But for Playfab, let me quickly give you an idea. So you'll have to download Steamworks, download that, put that in the package, and then on Playfab. So in here, you would go in here, add on. And the reason why I want to go over this is these are nice. You have those if you have a Steam page. Use Steam Payment Sandbox. Okay. If you use this, you can test in-app purchases without using your credit card. It won't charge you. I'm not sure on the live version. I think, yeah. So usually what you want to do is check it on, test it, and take it off. Because if you have a beta channel, it will make it free. Also test it with the live version because you don't want to have this on the live version. But you can double check. I don't think it should happen on the live version, but it will happen if you have like an open beta, or just make sure to close the open betas, because anything that's not live, I think it will use a sandbox. So just only check it when you want to test it. Okay, and if you're a developer and you're in closed beta, it'll work. Okay, now for the good stuff. Okay, so I'm assuming you also know about the secret code. Kidding. When you have the currency you use when you want to sell something for money, real world money, you put that in here. RM means real money, and this is $50 or $49.99. Playfab will go 2 digits over, and you don't need to put the period. Don't put the period. This is how the currency goes. Okay. If you want to charge $1, I believe it's 100, the dollar, or 99 cents. Because if you put 99, that's $10 or $9.99. Okay, that's the math lesson for today. Other than that, now we're gonna get into the code. Okay, first things we're gonna go. Okay, first this callback. Boop boop boop. How to say it? You need this callback. I will copy paste this in the description or in a comment for you guys to like. And if it's not there, it's because I don't have enough subscribers, so I'm holding it hostage. Or you can just type it right now. I'm just kidding. Okay, so using Steamworks, you might not need the conditionals here. Like you can do whatever you want, but you need Steamworks. Using Steamworks, we'll do another lesson where we'll talk about conditionals, because if you're doing cross-platform stuff, you want to make sure that you are doing conditionals so that you're only using Steam on Steam stuff, and especially if you're going to go to the Nintendo Switch or PlayStation. Okay, so set this up. This is a callback that you'll use. It's just a reference, and we'll roll here. Don't look. In here. So I set up this public method. You can usually this could be on enable, or it could be on start. The only thing you need to make sure is that this Steam manager is initialized. You have to be 100% sure this is initialized before you run this. That's why I have a script to initialize the in-app purchase. Okay, if it's initialized, you are creating a callback for this. So see callback. I'm gonna zoom in for you, for everybody. So, and this is the reference we just had earlier. You start the callback, and you have this set up Steam purchase callback, and this is like the finalized thing. Okay, so you're going to use this to call. Okay, so this is like the preface. Now we rewind from the beginning. Okay, and it's all going to make sense. Okay, Playfab has 3 stages. Okay, 3. Okay, you start the purchase. If you have different catalogs on Playfab, on me, see, I only have one catalog. Okay, if you're using catalog v2, I'm sorry, I don't know how to do that. I use the legacy because I'm old school, and if it's working, I'll fix it. Okay, so we start the request, platform SKU, whatever the SKU is that you of the item. I usually save it when I bring it in. Like quantity, an annotation if you want, just so that I can tell what's happening when I like print out when it's on the records. I can look through. Okay, pay for the purchase. Okay, so first start the purchase. If it didn't, there's an error. I have no idea. That's on Playfab. So if that doesn't happen, then figure out. The rest from that, you start an order ID. And remember, Playfab is going to do a lot of the heavy lifting. The problem is not knowing what it does when it does it. Okay, so we're going to go over it. So it's super simple. You started. You're 1 out of 3. Okay, now we're going to 2. Okay, we have the order ID. Now we're going to do a pay for purchase. Okay, so at this point, all Playfab did is wrap it up nicely and start the transaction. Okay, so they have an order ID, they have everything set up. Now we're going to Steam. This is the order ID, and this is the currency, RM for real money. And usually the reason we do RM is because that's what I believe that's what Steam wants us to do on the description stuff. This is all the in-app purchase stuff, the fun stuff that you might have read through and gotten stuck because it's not working, right? And you go in here and it's just like gibberish. It's like, what the heck? Playfab does most of this, and this is why we subscribe to that microtransaction because of that callback. Okay, so that's why we do that, and that's why we do this RM because that's what Unity is using for real money. Okay, here it comes. Okay, so we're 2 out of 3. We started the purchase. We pay for it. Now we're waiting because we gotta wait for the player to say yes, I'm gonna pay for this. That's where we run the callbacks. This triggers all the Steam API run callbacks that it's waiting on, and we set up 1. Okay, so anytime you need a callback, you just do this create. So if there's something else that you're looking for, there's a callback. Okay, so once we run the callbacks, okay, now it's on the player's hand. Okay, to complete this. So we're waiting for the player to authorize. When the player authorizes it or cancels it, or closes Steam for some reason, they're mad. This will trigger response. So if it was authorized is 1, confirm purchase. Okay, so we're going to confirm purchase with Playfab. If it's wrong, we're going to figure out if they cancel for some reason, or they didn't have a credit card or whatever. We're still going to confirm the purchase. The reason why I do this is to close the loop. Remember, we have 3 stages. Confirm the purchase. And this should not happen because there's no results. Like the player did not buy anything, right? So when we send this, we're not telling Playfab that they should get the stuff. We're telling Playfab that the order is done. Close the loop, finish it, okay? And so the result should not be, okay, cool, but we I don't know. That's where you can test stuff out. But this is working. That's why I have it this way. And then this confirm purchase here with the order ID is we are granting the player that. And if we need to do something, we can do that. But that's it. Like that works. There's one more thing that I want to share, and that's with VR. Okay, what to expect, maybe how to handle it. Maybe it's been fixed. I don't know. This was something I did like 3 years ago, maybe 2. What will happen is in VR, you have, and even in the game, if you have a game, you'll probably do an overlay. If you are not VR player, maybe this is something that you can play with. If you're a VR player, what will happen is that there's no overlay. So usually when you make a transaction, you have a pop-up, the game pauses, you do the transaction, it comes back. In VR, you will not be able to get the pop-up to work because usually they might have a MetaQuest the headset and they're linking to the computer. So it's not a Vive. Maybe the Vives, I don't have a Vive, might work with the overlay system. But what you have to do is, what I've done is I have a pop-up that says finish transaction on your computer, because this is Steam VR. They are on a computer. They're not on their phones. They're not on the headset. It says finish transaction in the computer. So they take off their headset and they'll see the pop-up for the transaction. They'll hit OK, and then they can put their headset back and it'll come back. Okay, so that's what this is. It's just like the callback. The problem is that in the headset, nothing's happening, and so they think that it's broken. Okay, so you have to tell them in a pop-up, hey, like, take off your headset and finish transaction or something like that. This is what I tried to do before, is remember those callbacks. I create another callback with this, and I try to say, hey, use overlay activated to like tell the headset, hey, do a pop-up. It didn't work. Okay, so in VR it's not working. Maybe it works in PC. In PC it's all fine because you're already in the game and it pops up, right? And so you don't need an overlay. But this is one that I never got around to it. That it just I could not get it to work. So that's why I don't do Steam VR usually, because it's a headache. It's not really like the best flawless experience. But maybe now there is a way to do that. But this will work. Okay. The only thing is that you have to take off your headset. Okay. And hopefully, if you have any questions about this or any other thing with Steam that you want to do, let me know. I'll set up a Steam and we'll do something for you. I also have my endgame devs community that I do to help people one-on-one to level up as a game developer or to get help finishing games, because that's what I do. I make games and I'm going to make games till the day I die. I seriously am, because I love it. So we'll see you on the next video.